It's just a quick note for guys who haven't taken the excess hood off. It's really pretty simple. Take out these bolts here. This one here. This one here. You got this one here. Basically, side panel off. And then you got the same one on the other side. So you got 4 bolts. And something to remember is they're all the same. So you don't have to worry about it. All 4 are the same, as you can see. And they all have yellow Loctite from the factory on them. So guys who say you got to put blue Loctite on them when you put them back in, you don't need it. They're fine. I've done it for 5,000 miles on and off. Never had one loosen. Nice thing is they're all the same. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to worry about mixing them up. You know, you got to take the speedometer out. What I generally like to do is I like to take a little thin feeler gauge. See how thin that is? And you slide it down in behind right there. It's already out. But see that little tab there? When you slide that in, it pushes down on that tab. You do it on both sides. You grab it with your fingernail and just pop out the top. So the top, once the top's out, the bottom will pop out too. Then you just take out, take this plug out. That's the main plug. Speedo out, very simple. Set it aside, put it somewhere where it's not going to get messed up. There's one more plug under there. It's this guy right here. Big red plug-in. You got to unplug that. It's got red wires going into it. I don't even know if I can do it with one hand while holding the video here. I will do it after that. So you take those 2 plugs out. Now, on the 4-stroke, you've got a little different setup. You do not have, try to get a light under here. So you do not have the little turnstile like the E-Tech had. What you got is you got 2 clamps. So you got that clamp at the back, right there. Let me try to get it on there better. You got that one, or you got that one. So I chose to loosen that one. See, I've already loosened it. And I think that's going to be the best bet for the 4-stroke. On the other side, I do not believe that there is a breather line like the E-Tech had. On the E-Tech, there's a clear breather hose. I don't see anything on this machine. Actually, there it is right there. But that looks like it's, no, that's the overflow. Sorry, that's different. Anyways, I don't see anything holding it back on this side. I'll know in a minute when I pull it off. Let's see here. Let me just get that other plug off real quick. Okay, so that plug's off. Got that one undone. Got that one undone. Got all the screws out, and I got that clamp loose. So let's just see if it starts to slide. See, it just kind of slides forward. Push the wires down through there. See? Nothing else is hooked up. Just grab it with one hand, even while holding a video camera. And you can just set it down. The nice thing about it is it's not like the Cat where you couldn't set it down without scratching something. You can set this one right down very easily. And that's about it. So there's nothing over here. This was the one I was concerned with, but that's something else. So now this gives you and me the first look at my 1200 with the hood off. See, so that's got a nice big, see what that's like? Got this nice big kind of boot on it that hooks on. So I recommend loosening this large clamp just like I did. That worked out real well. And you leave this one tight. Don't take that one off at all. Okay. Well, I'm doing the track today, so I'm going to be diving into pulling this muffler out. And Yeah, they got that pipe goes, and that pipe goes way up toward the front, doesn't it? Should grab a light here. Yeah, you can kind of see it goes down in there pretty close. I guess they don't have a little cross member there to hook to that. I was going to hook up another light like the guys on the XR had. Lots of room under here. And they do a nice job, Ski-Doo. Look at how clean and perfect everything looks. I think I'm going to wipe it down. There's quite a bit of stuff they spray on here, I believe, from the factory. So we're going to dive into this side today. I'm going to pull this muffler off. I'll do another quick video. I'm going to pull the battery out. We're going to start to disassemble the chain case. And there's that extra sight hole. You can see it on the 1200 mechanical reverse. Of course, there's the original one down there. And then there's that one there. That's the higher sight hole. And look at the way that muffler's just sitting on top of that. It almost doesn't even look right. I know my muffler was pushed up through the bottom from the crate, so I noticed that right away, and I fixed it. But for all I know, that muffler might not even be sitting properly. I'll pull it all out and check it. Looks like they got a little bit of a cutout right there on the back of the heat shield, so it doesn't hit the chain case. Wow, that's tight. Yeah, they definitely shoehorned this one in there. I don't know why they didn't just make it a little bit smaller. Of course, that grease there is when we did a test fit of an XS leaner side panel, and it hit there. We put a little dab of grease. So I do have the XS side panels on order, so I'm going to be changing those. And that's just my opinion. I like the look a little better. No big deal. The other ones look good still. Okay. I'll do a little more videoing later on. Obviously, we're not post forward on this machine. And you can see why it's difficult to go post forward, because look at the bend in that post. Now the E-Tech doesn't have fairly as large of a bend because the motor isn't quite as tall. So, you know, if you try to go post forward with this post, that post right there is going to hit the air box, because the air box basically runs flat right across this frame member here. And it's very close to that. It's got a little bit of a cutout on the air box, a little round spot where that rides in, but not enough to go post forward. So guys who want to try it, I say go for it, but you may be able to get a two-stroke post forward, like an E-Tech, post. Swap out this post for an E-Tech post. It'll have less of a bend. Now, of course, it'll hit the motor, you know, in post stock position, but post forward, it very well may fit. That would be something for someone to experiment with without having to buy a post. It's not going to be me, not this year anyways, maybe next year. Okay, we'll do lots more video in a minute. Rocker Dan here, see ya.